from Outreach Mama, and today I want to show you exactly how we're making SEO proposals that convert. I've been making proposals for over 5 years, and my success rates were a lot lower in the past. It took me a lot longer to make these proposals. I had to follow up a lot more. People were a lot more confused about what I was trying to sell them. And this is something that it looked like. It's 26 pages of just stuff. Since then, I've refined it to just 6 pages. Lots of blank space, lots of images, and just a little bit of analysis. It only takes me a few minutes to create these proposals, and they're actually generating at a really high, they're generating conversions at a really high clip. So I want to show you what I'm doing. I want to give you these templates so you can try it out for yourself. Before I jump into what that process is, I'm the founder of Outreach Mama. We are a link building service, blogger outreach service. And before that, I had a full service agency, Youth Noise. This is where I created tons and tons of different proposals, and they were customers that really had a wide variety of knowledge about SEO, and trying to sell them a subject that they're not too sure about, that they feel like is a spammy kind of industry, and getting it across that you're someone that's knowledgeable in the field and you're someone that can be trustworthy via a proposal is actually very difficult to do. That's why SEO has long sales cycles. That's why so many leads fall off. That's why you need so much inbound in order to actually generate some sales. And if you can create a value proposition via a proposal that's easy to understand, easy to make, and is compelling enough to cause the sale, you're going to be in a much better spot than you may be right now. So I want to show you what that process looks like. Why should you listen to me? As a founder, we've done a lot of SEO for our own business. We rank on page 1 for lots of high volume terms like guest posting, anchor text, different service related terms. So we get a decent amount of inbound, and we have to have a nice refined way to close that inbound and turn them into clients. So that's kind of how we refine this whole proposal process and how we unlock the secret to see what's working. And we have nothing to hide, so I'm going to show you this exact proposal process for yourself. And I already showed you what the final product looks like, but I want to show you kind of the steps for each one of these little sections so you get a sense of what we're actually building here, the story, where it's almost like a funnel in just a series of pages. Okay, so let's start from the beginning of the proposal. We want to catch the prospect's attention, so make sure you mention their brand name as the very first word of the very first paragraph. Recap what it is that their business does, so they understand that you understand, that you know what they do. And then just do a very general statement about what a successful SEO campaign would look like for their business. So for me, this is kind of how I approach it. I have a company called Linkeo, so I'm just going to pretend that I'm creating a proposal for that company. So Linkeo is a backlink analysis software looking to further improve the SEO authority and relevance for certain keywords. A good SEO campaign involves improving the overall brand authority, increasing SEO trustworthiness, and improving the rankings for commercial keywords, aka commercials that can generate sales. Very simple introduction, and then I jump right into a table about the keyword rankings, and I'll add like a little summary section right below it. So it'll look something like this. Keywords, rankings, search volume. It only takes a few minutes to really gather up some of the relevant keywords in their industry. You can use a tool like Ahrefs. You can just Google. You can look at their the title of their homepage and the commercial pages to get a sense of what they're trying to target. Build a list of that and throw it into your rank tracker. And then my little analysis here is Linkeo ranks well for long tail keywords, which happen to have low volume, but it's not ranking well for the higher volume terms like SEO software, SEO tool. So regardless of what findings you get, you have to paint the picture in a way that SEO is going to be valuable for their business. So acknowledge things that are good, but also acknowledge things that can be improved upon. And showing these keywords helps the prospect understand that you've looked into their business, you understand what's important to them, and you understand where they fit right now in the landscape. Next, I like to show some historical information about their site. I can use a tool like Ahrefs to get a graph of their organic traffic history over time, and I add a little summary about what's going on there. So This is a graph that I took from Ahrefs. It's basically just their organic traffic. And here's Linkio's 1,000 per month, and I would say something like Linkio's Google traffic is increasing steadily. Further refinements to your on-site optimization and increasing the number of links that you're generating will further increase the velocity of this rise. So you look at a graph like this and you say, well, this is actually pretty good. Maybe they don't need SEO help. All businesses need SEO help. It's all about framing it in the right way and showing that you can take whatever progress is happening right now and improve upon it with the right game plan. So now that we've shown our prospect that we understand a bit about their history, we want to show them that we also understand what their competitive landscape looks like. So in order to do this, you should find at least 4 or 5 competitors in their space who are similar to them, right? So if the client is like a small business, you're not going to pick a website like Yelp, because that's not a competitor. They happen to target some of the same keywords, but it's not a direct competitor. A direct competitor is also a small business, and that competitor should be ranking on page 1 for 1 or more of their top keywords. And then it's pretty simple to take a tool like Ahrefs or Moz or Majestic or whichever ones you have a subscription to, pop each one of those into their domain comparison tools and copy the image that comes out and provide a brief explanation on your thoughts on it. So in my case, there's a few software tools that are listed here that are competitors for Linkio. And we see Linkio is the small blue line there at the bottom, considering it's a brand new site. But we're seeing that it's already crossed one of the competitors. And it's rising, and the competitors above it actually have flatlined in their authority over time. So although the gap is big, with a continued SEO activity, that gap is going to become smaller. So the way I paint that picture is I say that Linkio has started to see an increase, but there are still top-ranking competitors who have way more authority. A big part of SEO is going to be closing this gap, and also to get creative with other buttons around SEO, like improving relevance and doing things you can with a fewer amount of links in order to improve rankings. And the ability to execute on that depends on your own expertise. So now I painted the picture that I understand who the competitors are, and even if a prospect doesn't really understand what a referring domain is, they can see that, okay, I do know this competitor, and I do see how far apart we are from them according to this line. So they start to kind of build a framework around what it is we're trying to accomplish here. Okay, so we're building that framework, and then the next step we go into is getting a bit more granular about, now that you have this data, do you know what you're doing in order to actually generate results? So one way I like doing that is to do some deeper dives and start talking about what some of the strategies are going to be, what some of the factors are going to be that dictate that strategy. So in our example, I like to analyze the anchor text profile for the prospect site and compare it to a top-ranking competitor. So I use the tool Linkio, and I pop them both into the system, and we get the anchor text percentages for both home pages. And I copy the percentages and I plot them side by side, and I write a little narrative. So in our case, we see that a lot of the percentages are actually pretty similar for the home page, so this is a really good thing. So we say that backlink percentages are important for SEO success. You share a very similar percentage with one of your top-ranking competitors. This is good. It means we're on the right track. Now the only difference is that big delta in terms of referring domains. So that's where the importance of SEO is going to lie. Now, if there was a different scenario where this site had an amazing branded profile, very close to the ideal, and then the branded profile of your prospect was very low, or the keyword density was very high, then you can point out issues and describe the way that Google wants to see the backlink profile for websites, what it trusts, what it doesn't trust, and how you can fix any inconsistencies or imbalances in that. So that's my simple step-by-step process for building up the background landscape and the framework that a customer trusts that you know what you're doing. Because you've shown that you understand the business, what they do, what the keywords are. You know their current standing in Google, you know their history over time, you know the competitors. If you were to start a campaign, you kind of have a framework on what's wrong and what can be improved. You've been dropping hints on some analysis, and now you really go for your solution. In Outreach Mama's case, that's mostly link building, so that's where a lot of our solutions are based off. Maybe that's you as well, or maybe you can do a website overhaul, you can do keyword research, you can do on-site optimization, you plan out the content and create the articles, or you do the backlinking. Whatever that is, that's where you start going into your solution. And you finish with some trust badges, some testimonials, what have you, talk about reporting, how they'll stay in touch, and then you drop the pricing on them. So we've got a few SEO proposal templates that you can check out. Just go to linkeo.com/SEO-proposal. Opt in and download the proposal templates. Use them as you will. I'll give you this exact proposal template so you can just edit what you need to. I'll also pop in some of these really crazy long ones because they do have some information about things like keyword research, technical audits, on-site optimization, so you can take what you need and go from there. So to recap, one of the most important ways that you can improve your chances of conversion is to actually keep things simple. A lot of times people try to overcompensate for whatever reason by adding as many words, as many slides to look as comprehensive as possible. But what ends up happening is when you have so many things to look at, you're not going to look at anything. So a client is going to receive this file, it's 50 slides, and they'll just scan through it, they'll go right to pricing, and they'll say this is too expensive. So you have to keep it simple, you have to keep the text to a minimum, you have to make it pretty image rich, but not just images for the sake of fluff. So you get to the point. They can skim through the proposal, things will catch their eye, they'll read it, and they'll start to build a framework of, okay, now I understand what's wrong. Now I understand why there's some difficulty with this SEO process, and maybe possibly the pricing may be maybe something that's reasonable, considering this person seems like an expert and they know what they're doing. So that's about it. If you have any questions, I'm always available. Leave a comment, email me at aj@outreachmama.com. Join our Facebook group at SEO Growth for videos like this and more. That's where you can ask questions, and there's a group that's happy to participate and help answer questions. Go to linkeo.com, linkio.com. Check out the software. This is where you can create some of the analysis plans that use in these proposals. Thanks a lot for checking this out.